Okay, good morning. It's the next day now, and it looks like I'm going to get yet another day off because it's only 13 degrees outside right now, which means there's no point in trying to drive to work in the extremely icy and snowy conditions. So I am going to yet take another day off of work. So I'm going to fool around with this. However, rain is coming into the situation a little bit later on today. Temperatures are warming up, so then the snow's going to begin to melt, and we look at flooding problems around here. But I'll be able to go to work tomorrow anyway. So for today, we are going to test the 24 volt pack here. I let the second pack rest overnight. It is very nicely balanced and fully charged, as well as the first original pack is nicely balanced and fully charged. Unfortunately, I can't use my balance leads for anything right now. It would be nice to be able to plug the whole situation into the capacity controller and look at it. I can still do that individually, but it's not wired up correctly. There's an extra wire in here. They're wired separately. This is 8-pin here, and it just won't work. It won't go together, and it's just not wired correctly. So even when it comes to balance charging this back up with the iMacs, I'm going to have to do them individually because I don't have the right connector, and they're not wired for 24. They're wired for two individual 12s, so there is a difference. But anyway, with that said, I've got it hooked up, and I'm a little surprised to see, and my load is on. Let's turn that off. And I don't know why I just did that because it killed my gauge. Let's turn it back on. My charge controller is telling me I'm 24.9 volts. This is telling me I'm 25.4. That's off. This is telling me I'm 25.02.03.202. It's kind of jumping around there. Let's look and see what the good old Innova is going to tell me. And it's kind of not much into there. Now it's in the picture. Let's look at the whole pack. So we can do it two different ways here. We can grab the power here, and then the positive, pardon me, and then the negative, and we get 24.9 volts, and it's kind of teetering to 25, but 24.9 is what I'm at there. Checking it with the charge controller leads. 24.9, so same thing. It's just going through the charge controller now, so that's pretty close. This, of course, is a little high, but the Innova is reading basically what that is and what this is too, so it seems to be on pretty well. So now let's go ahead and connect this up, and I'll come right back with the load connected. Okay, there we are. We got the load connected up. Again, I've got my fuse on the ground for this. I've also got, of course, the fuse for the battery, so I'm double fused. I got two 5-amp fuses, which hopefully will be enough. Let's go ahead and hit the load and see what happens. And again, the charge controller is kind of thinking. It's thinking, and it is not starting. How strange. It is trying to start, but it is not starting. I'll be darned. I did not expect that. I am puzzled because the charge controller is telling me the battery's half low at 24.9. That is bizarre. Let's try a different bulb here. I turned the load off. I was really hoping to run 2 of these halogens for 1 hour to see what it does to this 24 volt pack. Okay, well, that kind of blew me away. Let's try it again. And again, it's thinking, and it's trying, and it's failing. That is very, very strange. Alright, let's turn our load back off. That is very bizarre. I did not expect that. Well, try the other bulb and I'm sure it's not going to be any different. And same exact thing. It's not, the charge controller is apparently not allowing this 24 volt pack to work. That is really bizarre. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it and let it all reset. I'll be darned. That is pretty bizarre. Let's give it one more shot here. There. And the load will just automatically start. And we'll see. And it is not going to work. Well, that's the whole fun of testing. You learn things, and unfortunately this was a failure. So let's disconnect this. And let's grab the old standby load here. Okay, I got rid of the halogen light and I've grabbed the old standby, the 12 volt signal tail light assembly that I've bolted all together in a very unusual way, but it does work. It is a 12 volt system for actually a trailer that I managed to get. So let's stick our ground. That's not our ground, this is our ground. Let's connect our ground up here in a very unclean way. And I don't think I would do this if I wasn't all fused together. Have all the inline fusing here, because this is pretty dangerous to do it like this. But the fuses will do their job if something stupid does happen. And you kind of got to count on something stupid happening when you're doing it like this. So now my hot wire. These are grounded here, so when I say something stupid, all I got to do is touch the wrong thing, and there I go. So, but the fusing will save me there. But if you're careful, it should work. So there we go. Hopefully that's in the picture enough. Let's turn our load on. I'm pretty sure this will work, and that is very, very bright. Boy, that's really putting out a lot of heat. I don't know if if that's too much for this 12 volt system, but we're gonna go with this. Okay, I just tested my fuse out because I was trying to figure out a way. We need to stop our test now. Trying to figure out, this thing is getting tremendously hot, and I was picking it up because I don't want to burn my counter, and when I did that, this thing touched here and it sparked for a second and snapped, and one or both of these fuses is now popped. So I need to come up with something to put that in, because that's getting really, really hot fast, and I could end up destroying my bulbs there. But I really want to do this test for an hour, so I need to check my fusing now and replace the bad ones. Okay, I only popped the one fuse. This one here was popped, this one was not, so I replaced it. It just took one blink of an eye for that thing to break on me, so it did its job very, very well. So I'm going to turn my load back on. I've contained the 12 volt lights inside this plastic container. I'm pretty sure it won't get hot enough to melt it, but you know, that way in case something stupid does happen, it's contained in there. Let's turn our load back on. 24.1 volts for that. 24.19 for that. 24.5. And this one's actually coming down. I'm pulling 70 watts now and 2.9 amps. So let's see how long this is going to last. We're going to run this just 1 hour. And unfortunately, this was not the test I wanted to be doing. I really wanted to try out the halogens, but at least now I know. This is the whole reason I didn't permanently mount this second pack to this, because it didn't work out. So not saying it wouldn't eventually. I think maybe the charge controller is the issue, but I really don't know. So anyway, let's run this for an hour, and still kind of experimenting with batteries. Want to know how far all these batteries are going to go out of balance, but I don't want to run it all the way down. So I'll come back in 1 hour and see how it's going.